Welcome again to Royal Scot Lanes in Lansing. Here we are in the final match of the losers bracket between Jeff Austreng and David Schumacher. Jeff just recently won the Metro Detroit Bowling Association Masters title. Here to try to win the senior state masters title for 2021. David starts out a little unfortunate with a split. Jeff has already started his match with a strike. Oh, there's another one up there. Okay, thank you. And David shoots for the split, and oh, no, just got the one pin. David starts out with an open. Earlier today, David actually knocked Jeff into the losers bracket because Jeff was the leading bowler after the 6 games of qualifying yesterday. So this, in a sense, is a rematch, and David comes back nicely with the strike in the second frame. Jeff gets 8 on his first ball. Oh, we got to have it re-racked or reset because the rack knocked down the pins. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay. And while we wait, the winner of this match will be going against Michael Luceni, who I've renamed the ever ready bunny because he just keeps on and going. Seems like every weekend I see Michael contending for something, but we'll talk about him later in the next match. And do we get the pins back like we're supposed to? We got the full rack. Well, yeah, we could have stepped out for a little brew on this one. All right. And Jeff makes his spare. Makes it look easy, but no spares are easy, not in these conditions. And then Jeff comes back strong with a strike in the third frame. Thank you. David's up, and David throws a strike. It's a double for David. is up in the fourth frame, and oh, ball never came up. Ball never came up. Goes for the spare. Gets 2 out of the 4 pins. Okay, now Jeff is up in the 4th frame. Looks like a nice release, and it certainly was. He gets all of them. We have a little bit of cheering in the background further down the lanes. The only bad series Jeff had was the first time he bowled against David. Prior to that, and since then, he's been bowling very well. Fifth frame and another strike. Jeff has now got a 3-bagger and the lead. Ah, 10 pin. Things aren't falling for David right now. Oh, definitely not good. David missed the 10 pin. That puts him even further behind at this point in time. Of course, David's been sitting and waiting for one match, and he kind of cooled off a little bit. And we all know that when you cool off, it's kind of hard to jump right back into it. But David better get into it quickly, because all of a sudden everything seems to be falling apart. Got 5 pins on that first ball. And nope. We got 3 more. Another open for David. Right now he's kind of handing this whole match to Jeff. He's got 3 straight opens. Jeff's up in the 6th frame. Well, maybe Jeff is going to try to give it a little bit back to David. We got the 4-7-10 split. He's going for it. No, and he gets the 7 pin. It's an open for Jeff. Jeff comes back strong with the strike in the 7th frame. Although Jeff does have a 47 pin lead after 6 frames. Now David Schumacher's up in the seventh. Seven count. David desperately needs to start striking. He's dug himself a pretty deep hole. Oh, fourth open frame in a row. He only gets one pin on that spare, giving him an 85 after 7 frames. Things just aren't getting any better for him. It's getting worse. Now a 5 count in the 8th frame. Not only this game, but the match could be over right here in this first game. David only gets 2s for a total pin count of 7. Gives him 92 in the 8th frame. And Jeff answers with the strike, giving him a double. Jeff got a break, 10-pin fell, but he's got a commanding lead. He's over 60 pins ahead. Jeff makes his spare. What's Mark correcting up there? Finally, David gets a strike. In the 9th frame, but he's going to need a lot of those. This year?
171. 171.
Well, no, it'd be.
With an 8 spare.
He had an 8. So what's he got for a score up there?
You're right.
Okay, because I gave him 8. Okay. David got a spare. What's he got? What he got in his last ball? 8. He got the 10 stand in.
9 spare.
Okay. So David, unfortunately, ends up with a 130 total. He got a 130 in his first game, and Jeff can just increase his lead here. Jeff got a 7 count on his first ball. in the 10th. 292, 199. And he gets a spare. Wow, he's gonna be over 200. Well, David ends up with a 130. Jeff's taking a big lead, a very commanding lead going into the second game. And he finishes with a strike for 219. So 70. So after one game, Jeff is up by 89 pins.
208.
I gave him 199. Oh. Excuse me, I just don't know how to add.
208.
208. Really?
There you go.
Okay. Let's check that.
78 pins.
Now he's only up by 78 pins instead of the 80 some that I originally gave him. It's still a commanding lead. David's up in the first frame and his luck just isn't changing any. We got the 1, 2, 10. Makeable, but not very easy. And oh, I thought he had that. Powerful ball, but leaves the 4-pin. I think all Jeff needs to do in this game is basically stay clean. He doesn't need a lot of strikes. He's got that big lead. And he starts out with a spare. Jeff's up in the second frame, and he throws a powerful strike. Jeff's already got an 11-pin lead in the second game. Needs a strike. David got a strike. He needs many more of those. He's going to need some help from Jeff. David gets a double, striking the second and third frames. Jeff's up in the fourth frame, and Jeff's up in the third frame, and Jeff throws a double. Jeff's up in the fourth frame, Ball's on its way, and Jeff strikes. Jeff's got a three-bagger. David to be only 11 pins down has to match him. Or 11 pins down in this game. David's up in the fourth. Releases the ball. Oh. Ball came just a little late. Left a 10 pin. And David shooting for the 10 pin, and he makes it. Jeff was down by 11. Jeff is basically down by 21 pins right now in just this game alone. Oh, things are just not going good for David Schumacher. Another split. And only a 6 count. He doesn't have a sleep. Yeah, 6 count. Going for it, and he only got 2 out of that. So no open frame for David. Well, Jeff strikes here a couple of times, and this match is definitely over. I think it's over now. Jeff did. Jeff just struck. That's 4 in a row. And ladies and gentlemen, we might as well start talking about the final match because this one is over. Jeff just threw another strike. That's 5 in a row. Yeah, the match is over. He was 78. Jeff was 78 pins going ahead going into this match, and he's got a 56 pin lead in this game. So he's only up by 134 pins, which I think basically ends the whole thing here. I think Jeff's taking revenge for that earlier match. It was David that knocked him into the losers bracket. Okay, tradition has it that we should all raise our fingers to get a hot chocolate if he misses, but I don't think he's going to miss the 5 pin. I hope not, anyways. Nope, no hot chocolate for the group. Personally, ladies and gentlemen, I think Jeff is starting to sandbag. I mean, he threw that one away. Oh, and he made it. Oh, wow. I think that other pin came from heaven or something, came from the top. Jeff's up in the 8th and he strikes. Jeff has got 176 in the 7th. And unfortunately, David, if he strikes, will have 124 in the 7th. So like I said earlier, the match is over. And David did not strike. Nice spare for David. David strikes in the 9th, but it's too little, too late. Sitting next to me, I have the tournament director here, Mr. Scott Barker. You can't see him on camera, but he's been doing all of the hard work, putting all this together, keeping the statistics going. And Jeff is up. Jeff gets a 7 count. He's working on the strike. Doesn't even take much time to throw for his spare, and he makes his spare, which gives him a 196 in the 8th frame. And the best David could do, even if he strikes out, would be 200. That's if he strikes out. Actually, Jeff now with that spare is at 206, so he even shut him out in this game. Jeff's up in the 10th, throws his first ball, and he leaves a Greek church. The Greek church. He goes for it, gets 3 pins, giving him a 219. David's up in the 10th. And unfortunately, almost like he started, he's finishing with the split. It's still 9, 59, 68. Oh boy, so Jeff having a 78 pin lead going into the final game, actually wins the last game 31-50, so he wins by 128 pins. So Jeff will be going into the final match against Mike Luceni, our ever ready bunny.